Let's be honest, in the era of sprawling digital landscapes, an open-world game can feel less like an adventure and more like a second job, a checklist of 500 icons demanding your time. That's why we've scoured the massive PS5 catalog to find the games that truly make the promise of freedom feel worthwhile. The ones where the world itself is a character, not just a massive backdrop for fetch quests. So how do you know which colossal maps are worth sinking 100 hours into, and which ones are just vast and empty digital space? We've got the definitive list of titles that offer unforgettable experiences, packed with density, dynamic systems, and a genuine sense of discovery. Get ready to clear your calendar, because these 21 open-world marvels are non-negotiable plays on your PlayStation 5. When you think of an open world, your first thought might not be an ecosystem where you are just another part of the food chain, but Monster Hunter Wilds is about to change that perception entirely. This isn't just about tracking a big creature in a small zone, it's about navigating a living, breathing natural disaster waiting to happen, where the weather, the time of day, and the local wildlife dramatically affect the hunt. The moment you step into this world, the sheer scale of the environments and the ecological interconnectedness is breathtaking. You're not just fighting monsters, you are witnessing magnificent, terrifying interactions that can either save you or destroy you. And here's where it gets interesting. The new focus on seamless travel and environmental storytelling means that every trek across the map is a tactical decision, not a loading screen. The core gameplay loop, the satisfying dance of dodging, weaving, and exploiting massive creatures, has never felt so fluid or integrated into the environment. You'll be leveraging sandstorms to cloak your approach, or driving your target toward a territorial dispute with another apex predator just for a strategic advantage. It's this level of systemic depth that elevates the Monster Hunter formula. It shifts the experience from a series of arena fights to a true survival epic. You know that moment when you realize a small change in the wind is about to bring a massive, unseen threat down on your head? That's the vibe here, constantly. This game offers an astronomical value proposition because the world is essentially a constantly evolving content generator. Whether you're a veteran player perfecting your charge blade build or a newcomer learning the rhythm of a great sword, the sheer variety of colossal enemies, the complexity of the crafting systems, and the thrill of mastering a dozen different weapon types will keep you glued for hundreds of hours. If you're looking for an open-world game that delivers endless progression and a deep, rewarding challenge where every successful hunt feels like an earned, grand cinematic victory, Monster Hunter Wilds is a mandatory addition to your library. If you're looking for an open-world experience that trades the sprawling fantasy for dense, suffocating atmosphere, Hell Is Us throws you into a unique, post-calamity setting where the real threat isn't just the enemies but the lingering questions about reality itself. The world design is less about simple navigation and more about psychological exploration. The environments are stunningly rendered, yes, but they carry a weight of history and a palpable sense of dread. The developers clearly chose to focus on the why of the world's decay, creating a narrative that unfolds through environmental clues and cryptic encounters, forcing you to actively engage with the mystery. It's a compelling hook that immediately distinguishes it from the crowded field of generic apocalypse simulators. The combat system is where the game truly sets its own unsettling pace. It's deliberately unforgiving and built around a specific brand of intense, up-close melee encounters with otherworldly creatures. You aren't just mashing buttons, you're engaging in high-stakes duels where timing and positioning are everything. What makes it so fascinating is how your progression isn't just measured in skill points, but in understanding the rituals and rules of this broken place. And here's where it gets interesting. The game actively avoids holding your hand, pushing you to uncover the secrets of its dark open world through trial, error, and meticulous observation. This sense of earned discovery is a powerful reward loop. For players who are tired of compass markers and quest logs, Hell Is Us offers a potent and artistically singular vision. Its value comes not from its sheer size, but from its density of atmosphere and the intellectual satisfaction of piecing together its fragmented reality. It's a demanding experience that rewards players who commit to its tone, offering a world that is hauntingly beautiful and deeply unsettling in equal measure. If you want an open-world title that prioritizes mood, sharp combat, and a truly original narrative mystery over the standard checklist, this is a must-play that will stick with you long after the credits roll. Have you ever wanted to genuinely live on Pandora, soaring through the air and navigating a rainforest where every plant and creature is trying to either help or kill you? Avatar: Frontiers of Pandora delivers on the fantasy of truly inhabiting a world using the power of the PS5 to render a version of James Cameron's iconic Moon that is arguably the most lush, vertical, and ecologically rich open world in gaming. This isn't just a big map, it's a colossal three-dimensional forest where exploration involves flying your Icran over massive floating mountains and then rappelling down to ground level to navigate a vibrant, interconnected biome. The sense of scale is just staggering, and the world itself feels alive, reacting to your presence in dynamic and often unexpected ways. The game brilliantly blends high-flying aerial combat with intense, grounded guerrilla warfare, capturing the unique feel of being a towering Na'vi warrior fighting a technologically superior force. You'll be using traditional Na'vi weapons like bows and spears, which demand skill and precision, alongside more human-centric weaponry, creating a satisfying duality to the combat. You know that moment when you leap off a cliff, summon your Icran, and seamlessly transition into an aerial dogfight? That level of fluid, continuous action is the heartbeat of this game, and here's where it gets interesting. The focus on environmental crafting and leveraging the unique properties of Pandora's flora and fauna makes every resource-gathering expedition feel like an integral part of your survival and resistance. What makes Frontiers of Pandora an excellent value is the depth of its environmental systems and the sheer joy of movement. The world is built to encourage genuine, non-linear exploration, rewarding players who take the time to learn its hidden pathways and ecological secrets. If you're looking for an open-world game that utilizes the PS5's power to deliver unparalleled visual density, a truly vertical map, and a fantasy escape where the thrill of simply existing in the environment is its own powerful reward, this adventure is essential. The moment you first step out into Limgrave in Elden Ring, you realize you aren't playing just another open-world game. You're being handed the keys to an entire magnificent and terrifying fantasy universe. From Software didn't just make a big map, they created a seamless layered kingdom called the Lands Between, packed with secrets hidden in plain sight, massive legacy dungeons that dwarf most other games' entire campaigns, and a relentless sense of emergent discovery. There are no hand-holding quest markers here. The game respects your intelligence, guiding you subtly with environmental cues, and that irresistible desire to know what horrifying monstrosity awaits you just over the next ridiculously beautiful hill. The verticality, the sheer visual density, and the way the entire world curves back on itself is a masterclass in spatial design. The core Souls combat system has never felt better adapted to a large-scale adventure, with the addition of mounted combat and the game-changing jump mechanic adding new layers of tactical depth. The freedom to explore means you can constantly pivot from a brutally difficult encounter to a new region, allowing you to level up, find crucial gear, or simply clear your head before returning to face your nemesis. And here's where it gets interesting. The sheer variety of builds from pure sorcery to a colossal weapon brute means that the replayability is nearly infinite. You know that moment when you finally defeat a demigod after dozens of attempts and the wave of pure cathartic relief washes over you? Elden Ring is a constant delivery system for those moments. Elden Ring is the gold standard for open-world value because it offers a seemingly bottomless well of content, lore, and gameplay variation. It's an epic that demands investment but rewards it tenfold with rich world-building and unparalleled combat satisfaction. If you are looking for an experience where every single cave, ruin, and corner of the map holds a meaningful secret, and where the freedom to explore is fundamentally linked to your power and progression, this colossal adventure is one you must dedicate time to. Even without a dedicated PS5 native version, Red Dead Redemption 2 remains a monumental achievement in open-world design, a game that transcends gameplays to offer one of the most immersive and richly detailed virtual lives ever created. This isn't just a map with things to do, it's a living, breathing simulacrum of the American frontier where every NPC has a schedule, every animal can be tracked, and the simple act of cleaning your gun feels like a deliberate cinematic choice. The pace is slow, intentional, and absorbing, pulling you into the narrative of Arthur Morgan, a man navigating the twilight of the outlaw era. The level of granular detail, from dynamic weather to muddy horse hooves, is still unsurpassed, making the massive world of the game feel deeply, genuinely lived in. The gameplay is built around realism and consequence, forcing you to manage your health, your gear, and your moral standing, often with heavy narrative repercussions. The gunplay is tight and visceral, but the true joy of the game lies in its countless emergent moments, stumbling upon a hidden cabin, witnessing a chance encounter on the roadside, or getting into an unexpected cinematic shootout in a saloon. And here's where it gets interesting. The strength of the game lies in its storytelling, delivering an emotional and character-driven narrative that seamlessly uses the open world to deepen its themes. You know that moment when you feel conflicted about a moral choice because you genuinely care about the characters and the world they inhabit? This game is full of those heartbreaking decisions. The value proposition of Red Dead Redemption 2 is simply staggering, offering a campaign that is a true epic alongside an endless supply of side activities, hunting, and exploration that could fill hundreds of hours. It's a game to be savored, not rushed, offering a level of artistic and technical detail that few other open-world titles even attempt. If you want a vast world that is also intimate, where the narrative and the environment are perfectly intertwined, and where every moment is a piece of a grand, tragic Western saga, this masterpiece is an essential play. Have you ever seriously wondered what it would actually feel like to be a student at the famed School of Witchcraft and Wizardry, exploring every hidden corridor and secret passage? Hogwarts Legacy delivers on that pure fantasy, offering a massive open world that extends far beyond the castle walls into the surrounding highlands. What makes this world so compelling isn't just its size, but its fan service density. Every corner of the map, from Hogsmeade to the Forbidden Forest, is packed with recognizable lore, side quests, and environmental secrets that truly make you feel like you're interacting with the wizarding world itself. The sheer visual fidelity and atmospheric detail on the PS5 are crucial, capturing the magical, historical essence of the setting perfectly. The core gameplay loop is built around becoming a powerful wizard, focusing on an incredibly fun, customizable, and aggressive combat system that encourages creative spell combinations. You're constantly learning new charms, mastering defensive spells, and unleashing devastating magical attacks in encounters that feel fast-paced and truly empowering. You know that moment when you successfully combo a Levioso with a series of basic casts and then finish with an explosive Confringo? That's the rhythm of combat here. And here's where it gets interesting. The game's deep RPG elements, including talent progression and room of requirement customization, give you immense freedom in how you choose to define your witch or wizard. Hogwarts Legacy provides outstanding value through its sheer volume of content and its ability to deliver on a beloved fantasy. It offers a massive main campaign, extensive side content, and a world that simply begs to be explored top to bottom. If you want an open-world RPG that nails the atmosphere, features engaging and dynamic combat, and provides hundreds of hours of satisfying progression in a world you've always dreamed of visiting, this title is mandatory for fantasy fans. Calling Final Fantasy VII Rebirth. An open-world game might feel reductive, as it's better described as a series of vast, interconnected regions, each acting as a massive, densely packed playground. But make no mistake, this is one of the most content-rich, visually stunning, and pure joy-inducing exploration experiences on the PS5. The sheer scale and diversity of the biomes you traverse, from the grassy plains of the grasslands to the vibrant canyons of the Cosmo Canyon area, are breathtaking, and the world is always rewarding players who veer off the main path to engage with its plethora of minigames and secrets. The combat system is arguably the finest evolution of the Final Fantasy active time battle formula, blending real-time action, tactical pausing, and deep materia customization into a fluid, visually spectacular, and incredibly strategic experience. The addition of synergy attacks, where party members combine their abilities for devastating effects, adds a new layer of exhilarating tactical depth. You know that moment when you perfectly execute a complicated synergy skill, watching the enemy melt while feeling completely in control of the chaos? That's the core appeal. And here's where it gets interesting. The narrative excels at both intimate character moments and massive cinematic spectacle, fully utilizing the world to flesh out the complex relationships of the core group. The value proposition for Rebirth is immense, boasting a main story that takes dozens of hours to complete, plus an equal amount of deeply engaging side content and addictive minigames that add charm and depth to the world. If you're looking for a sprawling adventure that marries exceptional graphical fidelity with a beloved story, features one of the most exciting combat systems in modern RPGs, and provides an unmatched sense of scale and freedom, this is an absolutely essential title on the PS5. Do you want an open-world experience that finally captures the dynamic, swashbuckling feel of being a powerful Jedi, blending lightsaber combat with meaningful exploration? Star Wars Jedi. Survivor delivers on that promise by expanding its world design significantly, offering several large, non-linear planets, each its own rich open-world hub, packed with platforming challenges, hidden secrets, and unique areas to unlock. The feeling of freedom is palpable as you traverse massive canyons and ancient ruins, leveraging Cal Kestis's expanded set of force powers and traversal abilities, from dashing through laser gates to wall running across vast distances. The combat system is the star of the show, focusing on deeply satisfying strategic lightsaber duels. Cal now has multiple stances, from the fast-paced dual wield to the heavy, tactical crossguard, allowing players to tailor the fighting style to their personal preference. This means every encounter, even with a handful of stormtroopers, feels like a deliberate cinematic battle of skill. You know that moment when you successfully parry a relentless attack chain and then immediately transition into a force push to clear the room? That seamless flow is intoxicating. And here's where it gets interesting. The Metroidvania element, where new force powers and abilities unlock previously inaccessible areas, makes returning to earlier planets a rewarding exercise in continuous discovery. Jedi: Survivor offers outstanding value not just through its large, explorative worlds, but through its deep character progression and the strength of its narrative, which feels like a genuine, impactful chapter in the Star Wars saga. If you are seeking an open-world game that provides incredible lightsaber action, genuinely rewarding platforming and exploration, and a compelling story set in one of the greatest fictional universes, this is a must-play experience that maximizes the power of the PS5. While the sheer size of its map might initially feel intimidating, Assassin's Creed Valhalla offers an immersive, historically dense, open-world adventure centered on the brutal and beautiful landscapes of 9th century England and Norway. This is an open world defined by its cultural authenticity, where the exploration is seamlessly integrated with the Viking fantasy, establishing settlements, leading massive raids, and navigating the intricate web of English kingdoms. The game's value lies in its commitment to historical density, making every trip across the massive map feel like a journey through a living, turbulent historical period, rather than just a collection of objectives. The gameplay is a refined version of the modern Assassin's Creed formula, emphasizing heavy, visceral Viking combat, complete with dual-wielding axes and shields. The introduction of the raids mechanic, which is essentially a massive, dynamic environmental puzzle and combat encounter, provides unique and satisfying moments of chaos. You know that moment when you breach a fortress wall with your crew and lead the charge into the enemy's stronghold? That feeling of raw Viking power is a constant reward. And here's where it gets interesting. The narrative is structured less around a single linear quest and more around a series of regional arcs, giving you immense freedom in deciding which territory to conquer and which story to prioritize next. For content hunters, Valhalla offers astronomical value, easily clocking in well over 100 hours for the main campaign and extensive side content, not counting the massive DLC expansions. If you want an open-world game that is rich in lore, massive in scale, and provides brutal, satisfying combat centered around the Viking experience, this sprawling historical epic will keep you anchored to your PS5 for weeks. Dying Light: The Beast takes the genre-defining blend of intense first-person parkour and brutal zombie combat from its predecessor and drops it into an even more massive and systemically complex open world. This isn't just a game where you fight zombies, it's a terrifying vertical sandbox where the sun is your ally and the night is your greatest enemy, amplifying the risk-reward factor exponentially. The world design forces you to constantly look up, encouraging you to master the fluid, expansive movement system to navigate the sprawling urban environment, making traversal feel less like travel and more like an art form in itself. The combat system is visceral, favoring crafting, environmental traps, and brutal close-quarters melee that makes every weapon feel dangerously precarious. However, the true terror and the core gameplay hook comes out after the sun sets. When the volatiles emerge, the game transforms from an action RPG into a high-stakes stealth horror chase sequence. You know that moment when you're mid-air, having just executed a perfect dropkick on a zombie, only to hear the blood-curdling shriek of a hunter nearby? That immediate shift from predator to prey is pure genius. And here's where it gets interesting. The game's RPG progression is deeply tied to this dichotomy, as you level up your combat skills during the day, but risk everything to gain massive parkour experience bonuses by surviving the deadly night. Dying Light: The Beast offers incredible value because its core systems, parkour, crafting, combat, and the day-night cycle, all synergize perfectly to create a constantly engaging, high-tension experience. If you're looking for a sprawling open world that is fundamentally defined by fast, fluid traversal and adrenaline-pumping survival horror, where mastering movement is as vital as mastering combat, this dynamic zombie epic is an essential pick. When you're talking about massive tropical playgrounds designed for maximum chaos, does any series deliver quite like Far Cry? Far Cry 6 drops you into the fictional Caribbean island of Yara, a massive, stunningly rendered open world defined by its contrasting beauty and its political turmoil. The map is huge and incredibly diverse, encompassing dense jungles, bustling cities, and crumbling colonial architecture, all designed to be navigated with a thrilling sense of freedom. The true core of the experience is the ability to approach any encounter with complete sandbox creativity, whether you prefer stealth, direct assault, or using highly improvised resolver weaponry. The gameplay is defined by its explosive, satisfying first-person combat, giving you an arsenal of outlandish and creative weapons perfect for causing mass disruption. From a backpack that shoots guided rockets to a CD launcher, the game constantly encourages you to experiment and embrace the over-the-top nature of the resistance fight. You know that moment when a poorly thrown grenade turns into a massive, hilarious chain reaction? That level of emergent chaos is the game's signature. And here's where it gets interesting. The introduction of companion amigos, like the deadly but adorable Chorizo, adds a tactical and emotional layer to the freedom of your open-world traversal and combat. Far Cry 6 offers great value for players who prioritize scale and explosive action, providing a massive campaign supported by endless outposts, side activities, and dynamic world events. If you want an open-world shooter that is packed with content, features satisfying core mechanics, and delivers a visually spectacular, explosive sandbox where you are free to ignite the revolution your way, this tropical war zone is an excellent investment of your time. Can an open-world crime franchise successfully reinvent itself while still keeping its soul of ridiculous, chaotic fun? The Saints Row reboot answers with a definitive yes, trading the cartoonish excess of space travel for a grounded yet bombastic modern setting in the fictional city of Santo Ileso. The city itself is a vast, stylish desert playground, offering diverse districts from neon-lit financial hubs to dusty, sun-bleached badlands, all optimized for high-speed vehicle chases and explosive gang warfare. The sense of player agency is the biggest draw, allowing for unparalleled character customization and the unique ability to build your criminal empire literally from the ground up, one venture at a time. The gameplay centers on fluid third-person shooting mixed with a refined set of special abilities and close-quarters takedowns, giving every fight a stylish, energetic edge. Crucially, the world constantly feeds into the progression loop. The criminal ventures you establish directly unlock new areas, gear, and side hustles, creating a genuinely rewarding sense of entrepreneurial growth. And here's where it gets interesting. The commitment to co-op play makes the entire massive open world a shared, hilarious sandbox, meaning you and a friend can tackle the campaign, side missions, and city chaos together seamlessly. You know that moment when a standard mission devolves into an unforgettable moment of accidental co-op anarchy? That's what this game does best. Saints Row delivers significant value as a comprehensive open-world package, offering a huge map, deep customization, and a campaign that prioritizes humor and player-driven chaos. If you're looking for a massive, modern urban sandbox that doesn't take itself too seriously, provides a continuous stream of dynamic criminal opportunities, and offers highly engaging action with phenomenal co-op support, this is a great choice to sink many hours into. For the player who craves an open-world RPG that truly embraces complexity, consequence, and a demanding learning curve, Elex II delivers a massive, post-apocalyptic sci-fi fantasy world that actively rejects hand-holding. The planet Magellan is a sprawling, varied landscape, from frozen mountains and lush forests to ruined cityscapes, where you can join one of several distinct factions, each with its own philosophical, technological, and combat path. The world is dauntingly huge, but its true size comes from the sheer volume of detailed lore, branching quests, and hidden locations waiting for those who are willing to put in the time to explore and learn its harsh rules. The gameplay is a blend of melee, ranged combat, and complex magic or tech skills, defined by its high-risk, high-reward nature. Early on, simply fighting a small group of enemies is a significant challenge, forcing you to use every tool and tactical retreat available. But as you progress, the power fantasy is immense, allowing you to dominate battles with skills unlocked via a dense and intricate progression system. And here's where it gets interesting. The game's defining feature is its seamless jetpack traversal, turning the entire open world into a three-dimensional vertical space that fundamentally changes how you explore and approach combat. You know that moment when you realize you can escape a tricky fight by simply blasting off over a mountain? That freedom is intoxicating. Elex II offers immense value for the dedicated RPG enthusiast. Its depth of choice, consequence-heavy narrative, and demanding yet ultimately rewarding combat system ensures hundreds of hours of unique content across multiple playthroughs. If you want a massive, dense, open-world experience that respects your intelligence, provides staggering freedom of faction choice, and rewards genuine exploration with significant character power and story impact, this European RPG is an absolute hidden gem. While many open-world titles focus on walking and combat, the Crew Motorfest delivers an exhilarating, pure-driving sandbox set on a beautifully condensed version of the Hawaiian island of Oahu. This isn't just a racing game, it's an open-world celebration of car culture, where the map is the star, meticulously crafted to provide a near-infinite variety of driving environments, from winding volcano roads and dense city streets to stunning coastal highways. The world is seamlessly open, allowing you to switch between cars, boats, and planes on the fly, making exploration itself a fast-paced, continuous multi-vehicle spectacle. The core gameplay centers around playlists, themed mini-campaigns that perfectly package different facets of motorsport, from vintage roadsters and classic street racing to off-road rallying and drift challenges. This format brilliantly structures the massive amount of content, ensuring that no matter your driving preference, there's always a focused, high-quality event available. You know that moment when you jump from a top-speed race car into a speedboat without missing a beat, continuing your journey across the ocean? That level of dynamic world fluidity is unmatched. And here's where it gets interesting. The game constantly rewards high-risk driving and provides continuous progression through new vehicles, parts, and customization options, keeping the pursuit of the next great ride endlessly satisfying. The Crew Motorfest provides top-tier value for racing and open-world fans alike. Its stunning visual presentation on the PS5, coupled with a massive collection of vehicles and a seamless, event-rich map, guarantees hundreds of hours of high-octane fun. If you want a vast, gorgeous open world that is fundamentally centered around fast, thrilling multi-discipline traversal and competition, this Hawaiian paradise is the definitive choice. Can an older, legendary open-world experience maintain its epic scope and immersive charm when brought to modern hardware? The hypothetical Oblivion Remastered would be a monumental showcase, taking the grand, sprawling fantasy world of Cyrodiil and updating its massive, varied map for the PS5. This world is a classic template for the genre, a huge fantasy kingdom packed with deep lore, endless caves, forgotten ruins, and a colossal main quest involving the gates of hell itself. The value of this world lies in its sheer capacity for role-playing, letting you be anyone from a stealthy assassin to a heavy armored mage, with dozens of guilds and side activities demanding your attention. The gameplay is defined by its deep, if slightly quirky, blend of first-person combat, spellcasting, and skill-based progression that rewards dedication to specific playstyles. The game excels at generating emergent stories through its Radiant AI system, where NPCs have schedules and relationships, leading to unique interactions. You know that moment when a seemingly random NPC interaction turns into a sprawling, hours-long side quest that rivals the main story? That is the heart of Oblivion. And here's where it gets interesting. The remastered edition's value would come from making the massive, detailed world and its beloved quest design accessible with modern performance and visual clarity, finally allowing the legendary scope of Cyrodiil to truly shine on the PS5. Oblivion Remastered would offer astronomical value by delivering a truly classic open-world fantasy template, providing hundreds of hours of unique, player-driven content. If you want a massive, story-rich RPG world that grants unparalleled freedom of choice, deep character customization, and an endless array of dungeons and secrets to explore, this fantasy epic is a cornerstone of the genre that deserves to be experienced in its modernized form. Can a game about literally walking across vast, empty landscapes be the most compelling open-world experience on the PS5? Death Stranding proves that exploration doesn't have to be defined by combat or collectibles, but by the sheer challenge of traversal itself. Hideo Kojima's masterpiece offers a massive, desolate, but hauntingly beautiful post-apocalyptic United States, where the protagonist Sam Porter Bridges must brave treacherous terrain to reconnect a fractured society. The world design is fundamentally different. Every stream, cliff face, and patch of uneven ground is an environmental puzzle you must solve using tools, strategy, and careful movement. The gameplay centers on logistics, load management, and engineering, giving every delivery a genuine sense of purpose and difficulty. The combat, while present, takes a back seat to the intense tension of navigating the invisible, ghostly BTs, beach things, and surviving time-altering rain. You know that moment when you look back at a massive chasm you just crossed, seeing the rope ladders, bridges, and charging stations left behind by you and other players? That feeling of contributing to the world and sharing the burden is the game's brilliant hook. And here's where it gets interesting. The social strand system creates meaningful passive multiplayer interactions that foster a profound sense of communal achievement in an otherwise lonely world. Death Stranding, especially the director's cut on PS5, offers phenomenal value by providing a truly singular, contemplative, and lengthy narrative experience with a unique gameplay loop that rewards patience and dedication. If you are looking for an open-world title that challenges the fundamental definition of the genre, offers stunning atmosphere, technical beauty, and a powerful emotional story about connection, this delivery epic is a mandatory, unforgettable journey on the PlayStation 5. At the end of the day, finding those massive open-world PS5 games that truly justify the AAA price tag can be tough, but every title on this list delivers an experience that goes far beyond simple entertainment. Whether it's through massive maps packed with narrative depth, systems that reward mastery, or technical innovation that pushes the boundaries of the console, each of these 21 games offers an epic adventure that lasts well after the credits roll. If you've already played some of these, let me know in the comments which open world gave you the biggest return on your investment and which one you think we missed. Don't forget to subscribe and like the video so you don't miss the next deep dive into the best games the PS5 has to offer. There's always another massive adventure waiting to be discovered, so keep on playing,